Almost time. It's 9:45. As soon as Sharon's ready, we're going to start. We're muted. I figured we were. She's not really watching. Ready? 2, 3.
Good morning. Please stand and join me in our call to worship. Amazing God, maker of things seen and unseen, we praise you. You are our breath, our life, and we thank you. Risen Christ, you who come to us in flesh, we greet you. In your rising, all flesh becomes a gift of wonder. Holy Spirit, kindle your passion in us that we may breathe deeply of your life. May your heartbeat drum within us, that we may live with your joy, with your beauty, with your love. Hallelujah. Come, Spirit of life, and transform us by your grace. Hallelujah.
Please remain standing and join us in singing Jesus Messiah.
Body the bread, his blood
of mercy, I hear his voice of cheer. And just the time I need him, he's always here. He lives, salvation's mercy day. He walks with me and talks with me along my narrow way. He lives, salvation to impart. You ask me how I know he lives. He lives within my heart. In all the world around me, I see his loving care. And though my heart grows weary, I never will despair. I know that he is leading through all the stormy past. The day of his appearing will come at last. He lives, Christ Jesus lives today. He walks with me and talks with me along life's narrow way. He lives, salvation to impart. You ask me how I know he lives. He lives within my heart. Rejoice, O creation, lift up your voice and sing. Eternal hallelujahs to Jesus Christ the King. I know that all who seek him, the help of all who find. None other is so loving, so good and kind. He lives, Christ Jesus lives today. He walks with me and talks with me along life's narrow way. He lives, salvation to impart. You ask me how I know he lives. He lives within my heart.
Seated at this time. Welcome. So glad to have you all here with us today in person, and those joining with us online, and those who will be worshiping with us throughout the week. So we are glad that you're all here. What a wonderful time of worship this morning. And now we move into a time that we are calling right now a teaching moment. So this is, we've talked about previously that sometimes it's a time for children, and we've had times where we've had videos and stories. And so during this Easter season, we will have just a time of teaching, and the focus will be on prayer. Last week, we talked about breath prayer. And so this week, I'm going to teach you a very short way of how to do centering prayer. Now, some of you may remember that Dawn led a whole session at our women's retreat on centering prayer. And then she also, when she was filling in and preaching in October, that she guided you guys through a time of centering prayer. So there's, again, a disclaimer, like I said last week, is that there are different ways to do all of these different prayers. One of my favorite resources, if you want to dig in a little bit more, is called 50 Ways to Pray. It's a book called 50 Ways to Pray, and it gives you just a guide, a description that talks about the different ways to pray, and then it leads you in that intention to do those different practices. So, centering prayer is a time for us to pray without words. It is a time to embrace Christ's presence in stillness. So often we use our prayer time, and we do as part of the service as well, which is a great time. It's a part of prayer where we're constantly just giving all of our desires and concerns to God. And there's a place for that, and God receives those. But there's also a time that's important where we just sit in God's presence and listen. Remember, prayer is a two-way communication. And sometimes we don't always do that. We just like to do all the talking, right? So if we could learn to listen a little more, that's really where I have found transformation happens in our hearts, in our lives, and in our world if we did a little more listening than always talking. So centering prayer gives us that opportunity just to sit and be. Instead of just, I got to go do this, I got to go do that, we just sit and be. We don't do anything. And if you remember in Scripture, and it's on our banner there, be still and know that I am God. So that we can know God in stillness. And that's what centering prayer is. Just carving out some time of our busyness to give God the opportunity to speak to us. And it's a way for us to settle ourselves where we can actually hear. So again, it's hard. We're all built differently. It's hard for, I mentioned the monkey minds, right? It's hard for some of us just to sit in stillness. And so sometimes that's why we have our centering music to sort of help us during that time. But another way of centering prayer that can help you in that time is that when you notice your mind starts wandering, you can speak a sacred word that will help you get back to the present moment. There's no magical sacred word. It's what is magical to you that works. It could be a name of Jesus or an image that speaks to you. That every time you speak that, then that brings you back to that present moment. Maybe it's something from Scripture like surrender. Maybe it's peace. Maybe it's grace. Maybe it's forgiveness. So any of those words that perhaps could speak to you to help you get back into that present moment. And that's centering prayer. Easy peasy, right? So during our time, when we go to our silent prayer in meditation, we are going to have that opportunity to center ourselves, to ground ourselves into God's presence. And I invite you to practice the centering prayer during that time. Now, what will help us transition to that is that we have this wonderful opportunity to have our sound bowls to help us center ourselves. And Dawn is just going to explain briefly what sound bowls are if you were not here with us last week, and then we will immediately go into that centering time. And, one more thing. If you would like to use that time to come and light a candle to help get those concerns out, because those are important, you may come over during that time, during the sound bowl time, to light your candle and offer your prayers to God.
Good morning. I'm excited to share with you again the crystal sound bowls. This comes from an ancient belief that vibrations reach our bodies for healing and for release of anxiety and for focusing. And so during this process where Pastor Christy will be teaching us every week, I will be playing the sound bowls. Now, this is not where you particularly play a song as much as you just hear notes and vibration. And so I encourage you when you're sitting and you might be practicing what Pastor Christy was just saying, or when you're offering your own prayers, that you open up and you let that sound in and lift your prayers up and feel grounded here in this space.
As we take this moment for silent prayer and meditation, let us practice the centering prayer. We will sit in silence for a few moments, and if your minds become distracted, you can repeat silently your sacred word. God of silence, Jesus Messiah, we gather before you, mindful of your presence among us. As we come together in this sacred space, we are reminded of the disciples who gathered with Jesus after his resurrection. Like them, we come with hearts full of wonder and doubt, yet seeking your presence and your peace. In the midst of our doubts and fears, you come to us and offer us peace. Just as you did for the disciples, open our minds to understand the scriptures. Help us to see and understand your word, that it may speak to our hearts and guide our lives. In a world filled with uncertainty and turmoil, help us to be a beacon of your light and love. Give us the courage to be your witnesses who share your message of reconciliation and hope with all whom we meet. We lift up those who are in need, both known and unknown to us. We pray for peace for those who struggle with doubt and uncertainty. We pray for peace in the world, in Israel and Gaza, especially now as tensions have increased with Iran's involvement. We pray for peace and healing for victims of violence. We pray for healing and wholeness for those who are suffering. We pray for healing for those who are sick and those in recovery, including Joe Heath, Karen Harris's son-in-law, who broke his ankle yesterday. We pray for a speedy recovery. We pray for comfort for those who are grieving and those who received devastating news this week. We lift up the Bowden family. We pray for friendship for those who are lonely. We pray for belonging for those who feel cast out. We pray for those who feel lost, that they may find their way to you. During this time of worship, may we be filled with your Spirit, guided by your word, and strengthened by your love. May we be your hands and feet in the world, who bring your light to all we meet. Let us always take time to ground ourselves, center ourselves in your presence. Let us now all pray together the prayer Jesus taught. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
Our scripture reading this morning is Luke 24, or chapter 24, verses 36 through 48. While they were talking about this, Jesus himself stood among them and said to them, "Peace be with you." They were startled and terrified and thought that they were seeing a ghost. He said to them, "Why are you frightened, and why do doubts arise in your hearts? Look at my hands and my feet. See that it is I myself. Touch me and see, for a ghost does not have flesh and bones, as you see that I have." And when he had said this, he showed them his hands and his feet. While in their joy they were disbelieving and still wondering, he said to them, "Have you anything here to eat?" They gave him a piece of broiled fish, and he took it and ate in their presence. Then he said to them, "These are my words that I spoke to you while I was still with you, that everything written about me in the law of Moses, the prophets, and the Psalms may be fulfilled." Then he opened their minds to understand the scriptures, and he said to them, "Thus it is written that the Messiah is to suffer and to rise from the dead on the third day, and that repentance and forgiveness of sins is to be proclaimed in his name to all nations, beginning from Jerusalem. You are witnesses of these things." This is the word of God for the people of God. Thanks be to God.
So last Sunday, we explored the resurrected Jesus' first appearance to the disciples according to the Gospel of John. So today, we will explore Luke's telling of Jesus' first appearance. You may notice some similarities. Well, after Jesus appeared to Cleopas and another disciple on the road to Emmaus, they gathered with the 11 to share that the Lord had indeed risen. So as they were talking about him, Jesus came and stood among them. I imagine this like a time when we are talking about somebody and they walk up behind us. I don't know, kind of like this cartoon. I don't know if you can see that very well. But what it says is, I know he was really special, but dead men don't come back. He's standing behind me, isn't he? So in this cartoon, the artist has drawn Jesus in a physical body. And the Gospel of Luke spends that first part of the passage showing that Jesus' physical body was resurrected. However, when they first saw Jesus, his physical body did not look quite like it used to. It appeared differently because they thought he was a ghost. His appearance must have looked like something from the spiritual realm, an apparition. But Jesus proved he was there in more than spirit form because he ate physical food. He gave them evidence of his physical body. Now, once this detail is covered to prove that his physical body resurrected, Jesus begins to teach them about why he was resurrected. And he used Scripture. Now, all the time they were together, he used Scripture and referred to prophecy to teach them. They had been taught the scriptures all their lives, so they knew them. But even with this knowledge, mixed with their personal experience with Jesus, they still didn't quite understand. So the resurrected Jesus opened their minds. The resurrected Jesus opened their minds to understand. When we read and study Scripture, we cannot forget the action of the Holy Spirit who opens our minds to understand. The Spirit opens our hearts to receive the grace that comes through God's living Word. It's not just our efforts that make us understand. It is our willingness to allow the Spirit to speak to us through study and listening. Now, even though the disciples had knowledge of the Scripture and a firsthand eyewitness of Jesus and of who Jesus was, they still needed their minds to be opened by Jesus. So in this passage, what Jesus opened their minds to understand was that he was the Messiah, the anointed one by God who came to fulfill the Scriptures. He refers to himself as the Messiah. And as he said, I'm the one who came to suffer and to rise from the dead on the third day, and that repentance and forgiveness of sins is to be proclaimed. Well, this is the good news. This is the good news of salvation that the Messiah made possible. So Jesus wanted them to know that the Messiah did come to save them, but not in the way they first thought. In Jewish thought, the Messiah would be the king of the Jews, a political leader who would defeat their enemies and bring in an era of peace and prosperity. Now, in Christian thought, the term Messiah refers to Jesus' role as a spiritual deliverer, setting his people free from sin and death. The Messiah's way to victory was not physical force and violence, but through love, humility, and service. This new way of love is their salvation. They weren't necessarily saved from something, but saved for something. As the Messiah, Jesus is the divinely appointed king who brought God's kingdom to earth. And he needed the disciples to keep sharing this good news of salvation. When the Messiah came to bring peace and forgiveness through his resurrection, he changed what salvation looked like. They thought it would look like being saved by a political leader who ruled by force. But this Messiah, their Messiah, saved them by bringing them peace, forgiveness, and grace. And now they would become these beacons of grace so that others could also learn about this new way of salvation. The Messiah saved them by bringing them peace and a purpose to share this peace with others. Now, in this passage, the Messiah comes to them in their darkest time, when their beloved teacher was killed, when they feared for their own lives, when they felt lost about what was next for them. The Messiah appeared and saved them from being consumed by fear. The Messiah challenged their fears by opening their minds. He gave them the evidence they needed to turn their fear and doubt into joy. The evidence that they thought they needed was to touch his physical body, to see the wounds on his hands and feet. Now, even though Jesus looked more like a ghost to them, I find it very interesting that his resurrected body still carried his scars. They were used to identify himself to his disciples because they told Jesus' story of death and resurrection. Our physical bodies carry scars that tell our stories. Now, many folks carry a scar on their upper arms from a polio vaccine. That scar marks a whole generation of people in time. I don't have one of those, but I carry another scar that marks my generation. Right here, I have a scar from chickenpox. Many folks in their 50s have scars from chickenpox because our parents were told it was better for children to get that disease when they were children. And so they would purposely expose us to it to get it over with. And instead of separating siblings, they put us all together so we could all have it at the same time. Right? Y'all? Now, our children won't carry these scars because the vaccine has nearly eliminated this disease in our country. But we all have physical scars on our bodies that tell stories that have made a mark on us. Now I have one on my hand that tells of the story of the time I had to have surgery after I tripped on my pajama bottoms and broke my hand. I tried to catch myself, but still hit the floor. And when I rolled over and looked up, I saw 3 little boys under 8 looking down at me, and saying, "Uh-oh, we broke Mama. What do we do now?" Scars show that we have lived, and sometimes we have experienced trauma and have suffered. And those experiences have made us who we are. Jesus' trauma and suffering marked this time in his life and has made him who he is, the Messiah who came, who died, and who resurrected. He still carried his scars to show that he was their Messiah who came to save them from a life of sin scars and to give them a life of love and forgiveness. He saved them, saved us to be witnesses of this salvation. The last thing Jesus said to them in this passage was, "You are witnesses of these things." They are witnesses that he was the Messiah, that he has fulfilled Scripture of the resurrection. They saw it with their own eyes, just as they saw the scars. They witnessed the fulfilling of Scripture right before their eyes. And even though they couldn't believe their eyes at first and still struggled with believing that this could all be true and that Jesus was not just a ghost or an angel, Jesus brought them to understand because he needed them to witness what he did, what he could do, and share their salvation story with others. And we're still doing that today. This morning, Margaret Moran will come and share her salvation story with all of us.
Good morning, everybody. My friends and family, I have to keep remembering that. At first, I was afraid to follow Dawn. She just was so inspiring, and I said, but God said, don't compare yourself, Margaret. And he said, stop and listen to what she's saying. And because she spoke about Jesus as our peace, it gave me the peace to be able to share today what I need to share. So thank you, Dawn. And if you didn't get to see it, it's still out there on YouTube. I just want to say a quick little prayer. Dear God, our Messiah, be with us today to hear your truth and give glory to you in all that I say during this time. Thank you so much for giving me a story to tell. Amen. Okay, I grew up as a Christian in a Christian home, and I knew all about Jesus. My parents shared with me the stories of the Bible, and we went to church every Sunday. I guess I should put my glasses on. Okay, I learned of God's majesty and his holiness, but I never felt worthy. I felt like I had to earn my salvation. I was faithful and dedicated to seeking God, but I kept trying to do good, and even I went to become a nun. It wasn't working, and I never felt like I measured up. I met my husband, Ken, in 1986, and he lovingly challenged me on everything I believed. He talked about Jesus as my Savior, and I was resistant because I was trying to please God on my own works and understanding. I didn't realize then that the only way to please God was to believe in his Son. During this time, I spent a lot of energy convincing myself and others I was saved. I always said that Christ pursued me over those many years, and I still believe that is true. It was a process that I wish didn't take so long, but now I know that God has a plan worked out for each of us. I was invited to attend Bible Study Fellowship in 1995 and began the study of the Gospel of John. At the end of the morning, the speaker gave an image of our Christian walk that changed my perspective. She said that faith means believing a plane could get you from point A to point B, but not stopping there, but actually to take the step to get on the plane. At that moment, I realized that I had believed for most of my life that God was who he said he was in the Bible, and he could get the plane from point A to point B. But I was sitting at the airport wanting to understand every detail of how the plane or God worked before I would get on. On my way home from the class, I prayed to God, and I told him I was getting on the plane, his plane. I immediately had a desire to read his word. The leaders suggested we read the Gospel of John as a love letter to us from Jesus. As I was spending time with Jesus each morning, I soon got to the story of Nicodemus in John 3, and I recognized parts of myself in him. I had everything, the kingdom of God, scriptures, good life, but I was missing something very important. I saw in Nicodemus that he had to accept Jesus as his Messiah and be born again or become alive in Christ. However, it's when I started reading John 4 and the Samaritan woman at the well, everything came together for me. I saw Jesus share the truth with the woman, and she asked for the gift with very little understanding. And then when I got to John 4:25 and 26, which says, the woman said, I know that the Messiah who is called Christ is coming. When he comes, he will explain everything to us. Then Jesus declared, I, the one speaking to you, I am he. At that moment, I felt Jesus, the Messiah, in the room with me. I asked God for the gift of eternal life, and as I was asking, I knew that I was a sinner, and I understood that someone needed to pay the price for my sin. God showed me that his plan from the beginning was to reveal himself to fallen man by sending Jesus, the Son of God. Jesus reconciled us to the Father by paying the price for our sins, my sins, and overcoming death. The alternative is to pay the price myself, and that would be death. My payment would not get me on the plane. I let Jesus pay the price for my ticket. I also knew that I would spend eternity with Jesus, and eternity starts now. I could spend time with Jesus and get to know God by spending time in his word. I understand now that what I was searching for all those years, and I'm now on God's plane headed for heaven with Jesus as my pilot. I understand that there may be some difficulties along the way: turbulence, rough landings, lines at the bathroom, anxieties, etc. But just like a commercial plane has an emergency instruction card, this plane has the Word of God. I also know that this is a very big plane. There is enough seats for the entire body of Christ. In rough weather, a commercial pilot may come over the intercom and say, "Fasten your seatbelts." But our pilot, who doesn't have to sit in the front, can be sitting right next to us, will say, "It is I, do not be afraid, and peace I give you." I also know that this is not a nonstop flight. There will be stops along the way where others will be waiting, and I may need to get out and help them on the plane by the work of the Holy Spirit. I'm just so thankful that Jesus paid the price for my ticket and stopped for me. I have a purpose now in life, and that is to do the will of the Father and share my story about Jesus to everyone God puts on my path. One last point, I'm almost done, that I discovered this week was when I was reading John 20. Yes, I'm studying the Gospel of John again this year, along with my mom, Karen Johnson, and Martha Schenkel, and others. John is saying how many other signs were being performed by Jesus after his resurrection, but they were not all recorded. But in John 20:31, he says, "But these things recorded are written that you may believe Jesus is the Messiah, the Son of God, and that by believing you may have life in his name." Thank you, Lord, for giving me this time to share my story and how you became my Lord and my Messiah. Thanks.
Thank you, Margaret. At some point in our lives, we will witness the mark of Jesus on our lives. We may not believe it's Jesus at first, and that our eyes or minds are playing tricks on us, but Jesus will open our minds to understand that he has brought us to witness his resurrection power. We will witness the Spirit's movement in Scripture and in our lives. And our lives will forever be changed. This is the work of the Messiah, the Christ, the Anointed One, who came to save us from sin and pain and to give us a life of repentance and forgiveness. So we can share our story of salvation with others. So what is your salvation story? Do you have one? Have you experienced Jesus as the Messiah? I invite you to reflect on that this week. And I invite you to continue thinking about who Jesus is to you. We may not use the word Messiah as his disciples did, or even as Jesus did, but we certainly know and we understand that Jesus has saved us from a life of sin and death and has given us a life of grace and peace. Amen. I invite you to continue reflecting on that as we have the special music this morning.
Truth older than the ages, there is a promise of things yet to come. There is one born for our salvation, Jesus overwhelms the darkness. There is a kingdom that forever reigns. There is freedom from the chains that bind us. Jesus, Jesus, who walks on the waters, who speaks to the sea, who stands in the fire beside me. He roars like a lion, he bled as the lamb, he carries my healing in his hands. Jesus, there is a name I call in times of trouble. There is a song that comforts in the night. There is a voice that calms the storm that rages. He is Jesus, Jesus, who walks on the waters, who speaks to the sea, who stands in the fire beside me. He roars like a lion, he bled as the lamb, he carries my healing in his hands. Jesus, Messiah, my Savior, there is power in your name. You're my rock and my Redeemer. There is power in your name, in your name. You walk on the waters, you speak to the sea, you burn in the fire beside me. You roar like a lion, you bled as the lamb, you carry my healing in your hands. God, you walk on the waters, you speak to the sea, you stand in the fire beside me. You roar like a lion, you bled as the lamb, you carry my healing in your hands. Jesus, there is no one like you, Jesus. There's no one like you.
Amen. During this time is when we can respond to the word that we received this morning. Thank you for that beautiful, special music. If you would like to give a gift of your resources, if you want to do so online, there are several ways that you can do that. That's in your bulletin or also on the screen. I think they're going to show you different ways. And if through Zelle or through our website, there's also our offering boxes here. So after the worship service, if you'd like to give a gift, you can come up and do that then. So please join me during this time as we give thanks to God for all the gifts given today with our offering prayer. Generous God of love and grace, bless these gifts with your abundant love and your life-giving grace. Bless us as we bear witness to your love and grace in all that we say, all that we give, and all that we do. Amen. Awesome. So now we come to a time where we share some announcements of different ways if you'd like to get involved and give your hearts and lives that way in service. But first of all, today we're going to celebrate the April birthdays. Look how many are up there. This is a busy month. So I invite you after the service, right after the postlude, if you'll gather over in our fellowship area, especially if you have an April birthday, so we can sing and celebrate you. So I invite you to do that after the service. Now, there are many other announcements that are in the bulletin, in the physical bulletin, or you may, if you get the e-news, you probably have seen those. So I've been saying those for a while, so I won't go over those again. But I do have another announcement that I would like to share at this time. Now, many of you here know how our United Methodist Church works with our system, and how pastors are appointed at least for a year, but hopefully longer. And it just really depends on the needs of the church. And you in churches in our conference, you may can guess there is a clergy shortage right now, with many of pastors who are retiring. It is a mass exodus with the last part of the baby boomer generation who are retiring. So there are many, I think there were like 15 appointments just in the South District alone for this upcoming year. So for the whole conference, it's a lot. So this is the time where we call it appointment season, and where we pastors get really nervous when we see on our caller ID that the DS, the district superintendent, is calling us. And so often they will even say when we answer, to say, I'm not calling about an appointment. Or they'll say, do you have a minute? And you usually know what that means. During this appointment season, I have been a little nervous because it has been announced that Pastor Selena Kidd from the Julian Church is moving appointments. She is moving to a church in Oceanside, so I knew that church was available for a pastor. I also know, just speaking with Selena, that mainly because of the mood is a financial one. They are in a position to where they can't quite afford to support a full-time pastor. So, with that, I would like to read part of a letter from the district superintendent, Reverend Sandy Owine. Sorry, Sandy. On behalf of Bishop Dottie Escobedo Frank and her cabinet, I share with you that after deep prayer and consultation, it is Bishop Escobedo Frank's intent to appoint Chaplain Dawn Christensen as layperson assigned at 3/4 time to Community UMC in Julian as of July 1st. Dawn will serve under the supervision and mentorship of the Reverend Christy Grimaud. What? Oh, I'm kidding. That was the call I received. Okay. Dawn was discerned for this appointment because she brings gifts in pastoral care and healing ministries, a passion for connecting the church to the community, a calling to preach and facilitate creative worship, and a commitment to collaborative and cooperative ministry. She will coordinate with Reverend Christy for care of the sacramental life of Community United Methodist Church as she begins her journey towards becoming a licensed local pastor. And so we share with her with this good news because we are called to support her in this, and we are called at this time to partner and connect more in ministry and collaboration with the Julian Church. There's many opportunities. She is so excited, and at some point we can share, or maybe you feel called to do that, how this all happened. It was a very interesting, swift move of the Spirit in like a week's time. It was really, really amazing. And so these are the stories that we just say, okay, God, and just hang on. And we will continue hanging on. This is a great opportunity for us as at our church because we are in those tricky situations as well. This is a way for us to partner in their mission efforts and for us to come together as United Methodists and these two neighboring areas. And as it said, my part is part of the sacramental life is that I will be working to offer communion to them and for any baptisms and until probably next year when Dawn has the authority to do those things. So exciting news, right? It's so exciting for me because I was really worried I was going to have to be running up and down that mountain. I really, really was. You can ask Andy. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do that. So God luckily had better ideas, as God often does. So we are definitely share in that good news and excitement for this great opportunity for both churches. Yes.
May we gather around at the end of the service?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, at the end. We'll do it at the end. Yeah, perfect. Thank you. All right, so I think that is enough. And so, yes, I invite you to stand for our closing hymn, My Savior, My God.
What God has willed, what God has planned. I only know at his right hand stands one who is my Savior. I take him at his word and deed. Christ died to save me, this I read. And in my heart I find a need of him to be my Savior, that he would leave his place on high and come for sinful man to die. You count his face, so once did I, before I knew my Savior. My Savior loves, my Savior lives, my Savior's always there for me. My God he was, my God he is, my God he is always gonna be. My Savior loves, my Savior lives, my Savior's always there for me. My God he was, my God he is, my God is always gonna be. Yes, living, dying, let me breathe, and drink my solace from this stream, that he who lives to be my King once died to be my Savior, that he would leave his place on high and come for sinful men to die. You count his face, so once did I, before I knew my Savior. My Savior loves, my Savior lives, my Savior's always there for me. My God he was, my God he is, my God is always gonna be. My Savior loves, my Savior lives, my Savior is always there for me. My God he was, my God he is, my God is always gonna be. My Savior lives, my Savior loves, my Savior lives, my Savior loves, my Savior lives.
I give you the benediction, that does confirm, and I confirm that I will be appointed here for at least another year, if not longer. Yeah, whether that is or yay, good. So, well, be exciting to get to do ministry together. All right, so receive this blessing as we leave this sacred place. Go in peace, knowing that the resurrected Christ opens our minds and our hearts. And let us go and share that good news with others. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, amen.